Be, I think because even as a citizen of Rochester for so long, the um, the depth and the breadth of poverty was unknown to me. And when I began to do the work, um, I saw the impact that poverty has on so many other parts of um, the quality of life that a lot of our neighbors and community members are living. So it affects their health, it affects their housing, it affects their education, um, it affects transportation and childcare. I mean, like it just has such it is life altering. We have done a really good job in this city about keeping poverty, those communities, very segregated. And so you don't have to see them. You don't even have to believe that it's a problem because it's so segregated and so concentrated. And so I think that one of the things that our MAPI, I think, has staked its claim on and is trying to double down and recommit on is making sure that people with lived experience are part of the solution. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. I came from two professional parents who had both gone to college. One was a teacher. My mom was a teacher. My dad was an engineer, and I had a sister. And we lived in a beautiful little starter home in Dayton, Ohio. And we went to great schools. We did vacations, and we were told that we could do whatever we kind of wanted to do. It wasn't lost on me that I was African American and that brought its own set of challenges, but my parents we didn't wallow in that necessarily. I don't know if that's a good word, but we didn't, we weren't, that wasn't all that defined who we were. So I have always felt privileged and incredibly grateful that I had a wonderful childhood, wonderfully supportive parents who were able to give me pretty much everything I wanted and needed. And, I was able to grow from that. But with the recognition that everybody didn't have those same kinds of beginnings, and that I was fortunate to be able to have some of those things as a part of my life, my lived experience. I think that it was not lost on any of us that there weren't a lot of Black students, period, at GMI, but that was kind of the world that we lived in. So we knew that going there. I think the other thing that we also knew was that because we were at GMI, we co-opted. So we always went back to a plant and worked half of the year. I managed a manufacturing line when I was 20 years old on third shift. And every night, the first shift supervisor and the second shift supervisor would basically run the line so that by the time I got there on third shift, nothing was working, right? Everything was kind of broken down because they would run the line to exhaustion. And so people were, doing their things on different stations on the line, but something would notoriously be broken by the time I got there. And they didn't care because they knew that I was pretty much expendable. I was a student, and they, their performance, my performance wasn't necessarily based on what happened. So I learned how to, navigate with the people on the line. I had to navigate with the union leaders who kind of ran the plants. And, at 20 years old, Black woman, it was character building and challenging. And, I had to figure out how to build relationships with um, people who were doing this for their own livelihood. Like, right, I would go leave the plant at 7 o'clock in the morning and go hang out at the bar with the other supervisors who were, twice my age or 3 times my age, and we would have a beer and sing some songs on the jukebox. And, it was trying to figure out, how do you make a way and how do you create relationships that you can then use? And I think those are some of the things that have shaped me and molded me to today, like, being able to create relationships wherever I am with whoever I need to create, because I think there really is more that we're more alike than we are different. And so being able to find those commonalities and working with people to kind of see where we need to go, whether it's, at Xerox or here, is based on how you build relationships, I think, with people.